long as I can remember, also known as the Great One, Ryan Wood. Up next, one of the most attractive men in the league, Mr. Joe Evanish. Up next, another pretty good looking dude. Really good hitter, another guy who's playing with the Suspects for a really long time. Also a great guy, Scott Alford. And finally, making his season debut with the Usual Suspects, Johnny Riss Casa. Unfortunately wearing a little too many clothes for our life. Alright, for the home team, we'll start off with the captain, Matt Griffin. Up next, his partner in crime for several years, both in yard and fast pitch. Also, resident font guy apparel. A lot of you wearing his clothing for this event today. Let's give it up for Brian DiNapoli. Up next, coming all the way from Virginia. This guy's got a laser rocket arm. Also, really nice guy, Dale Wagner. And next player, one of the better hitters in the league, and a lefty. He's played with Dan Lavin before. He's played with a bunch of the guys over here, looking for another national championship. Jay Manchester.
At the end here.
And finally, the man who pitched his team through pool play yesterday, 12 electric innings on the mound.
Any of the other
Carl
ones?
Prentice.
You guys, for equipment in here, where that T-Mobile truck was, go ahead and pull up that close.
All right, gentlemen, let's get in front of the zone here, take a picture. This is what we're playing for, ladies and gentlemen. Our beautiful trophy, thanks to Kevin Battler. That's Big Fly putting this trophy together for us. Really awesome stuff. Gentlemen, let's get in front, take a picture. Good luck. LG.
I'm just amazed how awesome they've been.
All right. This whole thing has been,
I'm just blown away.
yeah. I don't think we would have taken the
They
steps we
didn't
did.
treat us like a renter. Go,
Yeah, no, I
it's
got
all
it
on
all.
you.
Total partnership.
All right, you guys, first pitch, 2 minutes. First pitch, 2 minutes. Good luck. This is a schedule for a 5-inning game. 5-inning game.
Maybe 4, 5-ish. I gave Tom Gannon a couple. I think he's got him on. So yeah, I think like 5-ish.
Oh, wow.
Breakout. God, I should have stayed tiny better angle here. Yes. God, what's it called again? Breakout. Is free stand still open? Here before we start. What are you doing? You're not putting it on the board. One makes it fun. Good beat.
How'd the interview go?
Going really well. I'm okay giving interviews, but I usually always feel like I left something out or didn't emphasize something enough. In that interview, it was at least from my perspective, one of the best I've ever done. And I think it was because I totally forgot that the guy was coming, so I was
Right.
able to
Yeah.
just shoot.
You didn't think about it long enough. What is this game changer for?
Well, I brought it for the Whiskey Ducks.
Well, we asked you about it. I told him to ask you. And I can't get it back.
Yeah, well, I'll happily mail it to him.
Okay.
I completely forgot about. Hey Ben. Yes. Do you have a preference over Google versus Dropbox?
I use Google Drive a lot myself, but I use Dropbox too. I just personally use Google Drive.
Okay, great. I'm starting to set up everything.
Awesome.
All right, thanks, man.
I told you guys to ask him about the bat.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
No, and he asked me about it Friday, and I said, you gotta ask Tim or Paul. And, you only lead them to water.
Yep. One second. I settled here. I think I do. Feed up your announcement.
Now the average age is actually pretty high. It is. I saw him in your ear.
So, and he was, well, no, he wasn't
Maybe he wasn't
on that call when Nick Sells
It never comes up in our tournaments. That's weird.
Oh shit. Danny wants to know who killed the music. Bullshit.
No, it's been going on all tournament now. Yeah, it's very good. Big cutters.
That would be a no.
It's like if we had all the people here and it wasn't raining, I could see,
It hasn't been an issue the
Oh,
entire time.
agreed. But like, yeah, we don't have to stand still because I can see that being, we've got, so many players because it's not raining. But yeah, it has not been an issue. No one is.
No, at this point, it's just dumb. If there were a ton of people complaining yesterday,
I don't want to pull this out of the thing, so I'm going to try to put this out as far as I can. Tell me how much we're at. Can I get to the ground, you think?
Hold on. No, because you're under a cord.
Unplug the mic.
Can I unplug? Oh, this is just the USB-C. No. This. Oh yeah. No, this is going into the power outlet.
Okay.
So if I pull out real quick, go. Alright, Paul.
I know,
Okay.
Oh, no, we're going to announce. I wasn't sure. Food's coming.
that keeps reminding me of the disc golf hole right behind it. Change.
So did they hit 3 last game too?
Yes. This is what they've been doing. Which I think is exactly
Just
what
not playing?
he's batting. Whitener is the DH.
So they're just not playing a fielder.
Well, they want to bat 3, so they keep Knapp out of the field. And then, all right.
I'm going to take the lead on this.
All right, no problem. All right, we're live, guys. Here we are. Up in the press box here at beautiful People's Bank Park. That's the end of the first inning. Black Dog, I believe, sets the suspects down 1-2-3. We're at the bottom of the first. Alongside Paul Cook, I am Anthony Diori. Also have Tim Cook and Tim Dean here in the very, very large press box. Probably the largest press box we've all had in any wiffle ball events. I like how Black Dog is using the dugout in between innings. I wonder if there's actually heaters in there. But anyway, yeah, so this is the first ever United Wiffle National Championship game. Suspects and Black Dog Country Club. I would say two teams that, if you told me this would be the championship game, I certainly wouldn't have been surprised. Paul, would you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, these are two, especially once we did the draw and once we saw these two teams' brackets. Usual Suspects had a pretty clear path to the championship. Black Dog Country Club a little more complicated, but yeah, they both definitely had a clear road there, and yeah, it's not surprising at all. 2010 championship for Usual Suspects. Black Dog Country Club won the 2016 GSWL Hall of Fame Classic, so they got that pedigree.
That's right. Yeah, and you got a lot of guys with a lot of experience on this team. It looks like they're throwing Joe Evanish here instead of Ryan Wood to start the game. I wonder if Wood threw games 2 and 3 this morning. Evanish pitched game 1. So I wonder if maybe they're going to take like a wait-and-see approach and really utilize the lack of restrictions for pitching.
Right.
And maybe have Evanish go a guy, then bring in Wood. Maybe Wood wants that to kind of get loose. I don't know. This is actually pretty curious.
Yeah, I mean, like Wood looked, completely fine still the last game. They took him out for Costa, just so it looked like just to save him, and now to see this is kind of surprising.
Yeah, I agree. So Stein just said there was no commentary. What if he's just lying? He could be lying.
Well, we did just start.
We did just start.
And
It's also Stein. Who cares? I hope you heard that, Stein. 3:20. It's 12:20 by you. Go to church. Do something. All right. A lot going on today. So this game, the current feed you are watching is here on the United Wiffle YouTube page. There is also a United Wiffle Facebook stream going on for behind the backstop. So we get a little bit of everything going on here. A little outfield angle, a little behind the backstop angle. Really, this view is beautiful. You get the whole field, you get all the sponsors out in the outfield. Beautiful T-Mobile tent right in the middle. Really a surreal sight for wiffle ball team, for a wiffle ball tournament.
yeah, like the best side of all is it looks like the rain's kind of let up here for the finals. Semifinals pretty hard the entire time, so this is a nice change of pace. Hopefully it'll hold up.
I would agree. Yeah, they came in with some what do you call it? Dirt conditioner, I think it was called. Something that's essentially going to dry up some of the water around the mound, as you can see with our green mat there. But then you have the dirt around it. They came out with some dirt conditioner to help dry it up, make it a little less muddy. So it looks like Wood is walking to the mound here. Looks like Wood might be throwing. Maybe playing mind games? I'm very confused. Although he's wearing a sweatshirt. He wouldn't pitch with a sweatshirt on.
It looks like he's just going into the field.
Look at this. All right, well, here we go. We've got Evanich on the mound. Lefty, lefty to start off the bottom of the first here. Look pretty low, I think. Couldn't tell. I will say, big fan of the boards this weekend. Pretty clear what was strikes and what was balls. I think there was only a handful of opportunities where a ball might have hit something that might have been called wrong. But, I mean, all things considered, big fan of the boards.
I believe the average age of the players in this game.
Yeah. We said it was 35, right? Or something like that?
If it's 35, it's Costa really dragging you down.
Definitely, yeah. He's probably 26. I mean, Lanigan is 100. I think Lanigan's, 36 or 37? I think Alfred's around my age, 33, 34.
Jason is 40s.
Jay's in his 40s, definitely. Matty Dinab, also around 30. Whitener also, like in that 26 range.
Yeah.
Over 30?
Yeah.
No, Whitener's like
23, 24?
I think he's only 24, yeah. He's pretty young.
I mean, he just got out of college.
Yeah.
So I've never seen Joe Evanich pitch. Have you? Food? Like what is he?
Yeah,
have?
so Joe is, he really throws pretty traditional stuff, but he's a lefty, so it always comes in a little differently. And he pitches, he's got a pretty regular windup. He doesn't do a lot of the herky-jerky stuff. He's not really going to try to mess you up with any weird motions. He's just going to get it, hold it like a real baseball lefty pitcher would, and just throw gas. He does throw very hard. But for me also, I haven't seen him pitch probably in 5 years, maybe 6.
Okay.
I wasn't in Texas. But you said he didn't throw. We haven't seen him, so I guess he didn't throw in Texas.
At least, yeah, I didn't see him. I don't even know if I was down there in the year he was down there, but
From like a strategic point too, he's they're batting two lefties, so not that DiNapoli or Griffin have splits, but the way Evanich just started so far with a slider and riser, it looks a little tougher for lefties.
I would agree. Any lefty-lefty matchup. Also, they definitely haven't seen Evanich as much as
Right.
they've seen Wood,
Right.
so
Yeah.
perhaps even just getting him off balance for an inning or two could be a good idea here. Just missing outside with that pitch.
I mean, basically an opener situation they could be going with.
Very
Just
possible. Very possible. Not too many, not too few worse openers than a Joe Evanich.
no.
Joe also is definitely really cut up over the last couple of years. Lost, not that he was ever fat, but lost a bunch of weight. Really toned up. He's looking very, very. I don't even know what another word for cut is. He's just looking very. He'll give Jimmy
Lean,
Flynn a run for his
yeah.
money. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Two down now.
It's gonna bring up Matty Griff. the captain of Black Dog. So, like we noticed before, Black Dog batting is a 3. That means they have to play the field as a 3. Whitener is the de facto DH by only being allowed to pitch, and Colin is nowhere to be found. He did his job. He threw pool play yesterday, and he's essentially just here for the ride now. Evidence missing a little up and a little away with his screwball here. You know, it is pretty wet out there. Seems like everybody on the suspects has some type of towel that they are using to dry off the ball. Yeah, that's nasty.
Yeah, really, really good spot.
You know, we haven't seen too many lefties today. We had Nate Smith of the Cheese Balls, right? It was a lefty. And I can't really recall too many other lefties in this event that were prominent pitchers.
No, I mean, over the whole event, trying to think. Yeah, I mean, there really weren't a lot. I know we're missing a couple, but there weren't a ton. Oh, Bryce Clark.
True. There's a little early discussion going on in this game. You know, I will say there will be definitely some tense moments in this game. Both teams definitely like to get that competitive advantage in the mental department. They're going to look for calls. They're going to, really use that rule book. That's what happens when you have veteran teams facing each other. They're not going to let the nonsense happen. If they want to get a call, they're going to get a call.
And I mean, both are just going to be very cerebral. You would expect, just that veteran sort of, mindset of, looking at every little situation in the micro and trying to find where the advantage is.
That's another classic Evidence pitch, that little rising slider. When he releases the ball, it looks like it's going straight into the ground and then just rises with a little tailing action to it. Guess he's upstairs with that one. In these 5-inning games, you may feel like it's a long game, but really, any runs early are good runs early. It just puts the pressure on the defense, the losing team right away. Oof, that's disgusting.
Have we had many long? We haven't had any long extra inning games.
Well, now we will, Tim. Thanks.
Yeah.
Championship game, 26 innings. Thanks, Tim Dean. You heard it here, folks. And you know what? You will hate to see it if that's the case.
Hate to see it.
In the dirt there.
We didn't load them in the 16th though, so
That's fair. And fouled away. Evan is trying to come back with that same little two-seamer on the outside corner, but he left that one over the plate. Jay just missed the foul.
Jay amazes me every time I see him. Just doing this for so long. Just that was a good pitch like that, and he knows exactly where to go, and knows exactly where to put the bat to the ball, and just even a take like that, or check swing.
He knows his zone better than anybody.
Yeah.
He will make contact better than anybody. Very rarely does Jay strike out.
And just and again, like he's been doing it for so that's usually the first thing to go. Is your sort of contact ability and just your eye. And he just seems to get better. He'll pop out.
Johnny wants to make the play. No tag call.
I knew you said this earlier, but I'm not sure Johnny Wilson is wearing his shirt here. Arguably biggest game of his career.
I agree. I guess it's a little chilly out. And the over/under article of clothing is probably 2.5. I'd say the suspect's doing a lot of chatting in between every pitch here. Again, this is just veteran teams just playing the mind games, always chatting. Always want to keep the rhythm on their side. This is going to be a fun matchup to watch if Evidence pitches the whole game. This is lefty-lefty right here with Z-Nap.
Yeah.
Little change-up on the inside corner there. See, again, Evidence, he really, when he pitches like a baseball pitcher. the inside, the outside, the up and down. His pitches don't move, incredibly a lot, but they're tight and they're usually on spots. Ooh, that just missed low. Field does look like it's holding up pretty good though. Seems like we have a lull in the rains, a little breeze now, maybe dry up some of that water. Sure. Another one just missing low and away.
Yeah, I mean, like I kind of had the same reaction as Joe there. Like I don't know how that went around that.
Tough pitch to lay off.
Yeah.
Didn't have better than anybody.
Yeah.
Another one away. I believe it's a full count now.
Do you have those go right to the towel?
Yeah, smart. No, there's a lot of respect between these
Yeah.
two teams. Definitely, there's going to be no animosity, win or lose. I mean, I guess I shouldn't say that, but I mean, two classy teams, I'd say.
You know, I was down on the field beforehand, and I think it was Scott and Maddie were talking, and they said it's been about 6 or 7 years since those two personally played each other.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a long history between these teams, but not a lot of recent history. So check swing call. Here we go. Maybe a check swing call being discussed.
It's the
It's a
call
pitcher.
of the field, right?
Correct. It's the pitcher's call, yeah. And Albert definitely said he swung.
This is again another one of those things you want to. If you're the suspect, you're going to try to grab this call early.
And I don't even think he's trying to call it as much. Like, I think you could just kind of tell by his body language. I think he legitimately feels that way. Obviously, DiNapoli does not agree.
I agree. He's really walking off to that dugout. I guess that's the end of the inning. All right, side retired. So after one, we're scoreless here on your UF official radio network. All right, welcome back to our live coverage here of the United Wiffle National Championship. We have Usual Suspects and Black Dog Country Club. Today's game brought to you by T-Mobile. T-Mobile, the official sponsor of our Fan Fest from Friday night, as well as the whole event. I really want to thank them for helping us out, helping out the Revs for this beautiful event. Despite the weather today, it's been a sensational weekend, Paul. Starting with Friday night, the energy here for the Fan Fest was great. The energy all day yesterday was electric. And even today in the morning, there was some good energy here despite the weather.
Yeah, I mean, it's good as energy as you can expect given this weather. And yeah, you mentioned Friday night. That was probably my favorite part of the weekend, just watching guys walk in and see the stadium for the first time. You and I had that experience, too. And different times, and just seeing this stadium for the first time, seeing these wiffle ball fields set up like this, it's like nothing we've ever seen before.
Yeah, I agree. Even when we ran that event for Golden State Up in Beehive a few years ago, but I mean that was nothing compared to this. We certainly didn't have the fanfare. We certainly didn't have the ambiance. We really we just used the field really. Here we really utilized the whole park. The concession stands have been open. The beer carts have been open. The field crews, the actual ground crews have been helping us out. It's been a really nice joint event. And honestly, this has been great. Probably one of the most fun wiffle ball events I've ever been a part of. And I didn't even play, which is actually the best part. We're back to live action here. Ham facing Evanish here. 3-0 count to start off the second inning. We'll see. Do they? You think DNAP comes in for Ham at some point?
It's possible. I mean, it looks like he's still carrying his good stuff. Almost too, like those last two pitches, almost maybe too much movement, and you'll see that sometimes with Widener. Like he just has. I've never seen a guy that the combination of velocity and movement that he has, and sometimes, it's just too much lateral movement, and he doesn't know where to locate it. Where he comes over.
I would say a rare. I don't even say error from Jay, but a rare misplay from Jay Venture is one of the better fielders in the game. So just like that, first and second, nobody out for the suspects here, top two, trying to get an early advantage. Nice little change up, screwball, whatever that was. That was disgusting. Strike one. Ooh, I think that hit.
I think it is too.
Let's see what the call on the field is. From up here, it looked like it hit.
It did. That's the pitcher's call, correct?
That's pitcher's call, yeah. Just the way it ricocheted, it went off to the side.
Trying to give them a strike call from the press box, not having it. I guess I don't know why Alpha would say it wasn't even close. I mean, it was definitely looked like it hit the side of the board, but we'll carry on. These are little things that happen sometimes in the game. You don't want to get involved. The two teams kind of battle it out.
Yeah.
And sometimes it does get a little chippy.
It's a gentleman's game, but it's a lot on the line, and then it can get those two things. Don't necessarily gel all the time.
Little riser there. It sounded like Packer, but like Packer was like a dying cow. God, what it sounded like. Ooh, riser. And that's a home run. Scott Alford, a 3-run shot. And the suspects are up to an early 3-0 lead. Alfred going Oppo Taco. Now I wonder, Paul, if that pitch was actually called a ball or a strike, and if that changed Whitener's approach that at bat.
Yeah, man, it's fair to wonder because that pitch selection did seem a little weird. The way he went back and he went back outside. He went outside every time. They kept going outside, and whether or not Alfred realized that or whatever it was, it wasn't a great swing. Just bat to the ball. Just Whitener's got so much velocity. You just put the bat to the ball and it's gonna fly out.
I agree. Yeah, that was really just a virtual pop-up, and I mean, there really isn't much of a breeze right now.
Yeah.
But if there is a breeze, it is kind of blowing out towards right field. If you can take a look at the flag, so hit it in the right spot. Well, 3-0 suspects here. Whitener, still nobody out here in the top of the second. You just got to wonder, DNAB warming up in the bullpen. Is he going to come in sooner than later?
It'll also be interesting now they got the lead if I assume they'll stick with Evanish, for a little while now. But like if they still have this 3-0 lead in the fourth or fifth, you bring in Wood just to put the exclamation point on it, or.
I would agree with that 100%. Why bring him in if you don't have to? I mean, 3-0 lead's a lot in fast pitch, and Evanish really looked pretty good the first inning. So we shall see. A lot of game left though. Johnny Whiff standing in there. Here's the pitch from Whitener. Disgusting screwball. That's definitely a strike. I mean, that one literally was left of the backstop post.
Costas laughed on the whole story there. I mean, there's nothing you can do about that.
That's part of like what you said before. Some of Whitener's pitches just move so much laterally. But while that's also great, it can also be a detriment.
I faced him like May 2018. Ground ball. Just past the line.
Trickles through for a base hit.
I faced him in May 2018, and I was retired from wiffle ball 3 months later. So I'm not saying there's any correlation, but I never seen pitches move like that with that velocity. It's ridiculous.
I agree. Usually in whiffs, it's one or the other. You have a guy just throwing hard with a little movement, or a little slower with a big looping movement. Whitener has found a way to somehow do both. A little pitching conference here. It looks like they may be going to DNAP right now. They are kind of on him now. It seemed like he had good velocity, but maybe he doesn't have his best stuff. Looks like they're going to stick with Whitener here. Nobody out still. 1 on. Top 2. 3-0 suspects. It's going to bring up Joe Avenish. There's a strike. Joe, of course, originally from Long Island, has moved to Colorado over the last couple years with a wife and kid. Lives near Didio. I don't think they hang out though.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me if they don't hang out. He saw it and he just still couldn't do anything with it.
It's a really nasty changeup. You know, when you're sitting 97 the whole day, and all of a sudden here comes 71. It's tough to adjust. Nasty. So he gets Evanish down on 3 strikes there. That's the first out. And it's going to bring up Ryan Wood. Ryan Wood also originated from Long Island, but still on Long Island. Living out in Ronkonkoma. Owns a pest extermination business.
Really?
Yeah. Woody's Exterminator, I believe it's called.
Is that what his dad did?
Yes,
Yes.
I believe so, yeah.
We played them a ton in wiffle up in 2002, 2003.
Yeah. Oh, that ball's hit foul.
That dad could hit. I mean, best family team of all time. Like,
Wow.
There's no way. Like, I've never played a family team that all 3 guys just great, good pitch.
Well, the rumor is they'll be making a return to yard next year.
Oh,
as
that's
Wood,
awesome.
Wood is leaving. The suspects are breaking up, which seems to be the trend in New York Golden Stick Yard. Everyone is breaking up. But Wood's supposed to play with his dad, and I believe a cousin or whoever else is on that fast pitch team you guys mentioned. It's another fly ball right field. It could go. It is out of here.
Over the net.
Not clearer than that. About six rows deep in the seats.
That is a 2-run shot from Ryan Wood, and it is 5-0 suspects early and often, and that might do it for Virginia Ham. 1 1/3, close the book on him. 5 runs, 5 hits, maybe 4 hits, a couple of bombs.
Hope this don't turn into a gunner game.
Zenat's going to come in here. He's going to get his 5 minutes to warm up, and he certainly will use all of it. I want to try this. I'm going to put the hand warmer in the mat. That's not really effective. All right.
I mean, just a good approach by the usual suspects hitters.
Yeah.
Widener was working him away, and obviously his velocity, is top whatever 3, 4, 5 in the game. And they were just, they were waiting late, just go with the pitch, letting Widener do most of the work and just serving it the other way.
Yeah, and it didn't seem like Widener actually was throwing many strikes with his other pitches. Really, it was that same screwball, albeit the great movement, and the riser. He really didn't have much else going. He threw that one changeup for a strike, and really nothing else. So, you have good hitters like Wood and Johnny Whiffs and Alfred. Like they're gonna sit on those strikes. And that's what they've done.
I mean, you got to give the hitters credit here. Like that wasn't Widener just joking in a big game situation. That was good hitters, going head to head with a good pitcher and having a game plan and executing it.
All right. So while we're letting DNAB warm up here, we're gonna bring in a member of C4. We're gonna bring in Edgar Leroy Packer Jr. I would say we can say defending champs, but no longer will be repeat champs. Packer, tell us about how C4 lost in the Final Four to BDCC.
We came out and Ham was fired and he was throwing really well against us, and then unfortunately our guys just kind of lost control. I mean, it was wet, cold, there was some wind, and they just weren't able to find it. And I mean, that happens. I mean, what can you do? They were out there trying their best, and I mean, if you can't find it, you can't find it.
No doubt. So you guys have won the last 4 national championships. Is that correct?
3.
3. So this would have been
This
your
would
4th.
this would have been.
So
4.
you've won the last 3 national championships. We'll finally have a different champion in the fast pitch arena. Now, before this game started, who were you going to pick?
I really wanted to see Black Dog win just because those guys have kind of been on the cusp of it the last few years. They're all great players and great people. I like that they play the game straight up. They're not trying to cheat you on anything. Maybe except for Jay, but he'll be honest and he'll tell you that he'll try to squeak one by every now and then. But no, they're just great people, and it's just always a battle playing them. And I think they play the game the right way.
Oh, great. We're back underway here. DNAP coming in and throwing a nice riser right past Alfred for a strike. Alfred last at bat, he had a 3-run shot and put the suspects on the board 3-0. It's now currently 5-0. Packer, what do you think Black Dog is going to have to do here to make this a game?
They're going to have to get out of this inning without letting up another run. I just am not sure how they're going to do it because I know that these guys they like to hit risers, and DNAP is primarily an up and down pitcher, and he relies heavily on his riser and his change. So if he's not able to get them out with that, it's going to be a short game.
And that was a riser. He just threw Alfred for that ground ball. So we got 2 outs here, top of the second. Johnny whiffs out.
And I was surprised that they were going with the 3-man lineup. In the field, I mean, they made the decision to have DNAP be a DH for Dan Whitener just because they wanted to have 3 guys up, see more pitches. But what happens is you leave that left side open, and as you've seen early in the game, the suspects have put 3 or 4 balls there now. So it's kind of biting Black Dog in the butt a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's a little easier to go the other way when you know there's nobody there. You kind of have to force you to do it. And yeah, it's bit Black Dog in the butt so far. Yeah, I mean, maybe the team's going to come back with 5-0. It could be them.
So I think for the suspects here, I know they're up 5-0 right now, but they need to make DNAP throw strikes. As we've seen, Black Dog has had a tough time kind of commanding the zone. So if they're opening their zone, we just saw Johnny swing at one that kind of tailed in towards them and out. It could leave an opening for Black Dog to come back in here if they're going outside the zone, trying to do a little bit too much. So we've got 2 down now.
Isn't that 3 outs?
I believe it is only 2. I think no, because there was a ground ball at the beginning of the inning that Jay dropped, walk, and then the home run.
I thought he struck out Evan.
Oh, maybe that is 3 outs.
Yeah,
Maybe
that
you're
is
correct.
3 outs.
As you can see, here comes
3 outs! Yeah, I knew there was 3 outs.
All right, so Anthony Diorio was correct there. There was 3 outs.
Nobody keeping the vote.
Of course not. They're suspects. Is this live or is this just video for later?
Yeah, this is
Live.
Okay.
I mean, we can.
Yeah. So we're in a discussion now. Ham's over there pleading his case with Ryan Wood, and I believe it's going to be 3 outs. I believe it's.
Never an easy game with any of these teams, actually. I just want to yell, it's 3 outs. No, Evan is struck out. Because it was first and second, and then Evan is struck out, and then Alfred.
And for all you Whifflers there at home who are coming to these tournaments, this is why it's important to do your scorebook. Because in
Yes.
situations like this,
They got good.
in situations like this, you may be screwed out of a situation. I mean, we've seen it in years past where guys don't do the scorebook, and they're cheated a run here or there because they just aren't able to show it, and the other team has a book and says this is what we have. So if you do your book, you have the proof right there.
I agree. It is important to always keep score. You should do it anyway, just for your own sake. Just like make sure that you're not batting out of order or missing. You want to get some RBIs in there.
And I was surprised to see.
Enough another. We gave every team enough score sheets
Oh,
and a
absolutely.
clipboard, so they should really. There's no excuse.
And-
But some teams just are never going to do it.
Some people are set in their ways. It's fine. And I was surprised coming into this that Ryan Wood was not throwing.
Yeah,
Dad-
Paulette said the same thing. We were a little surprised, but
Ryan Wood is one of the greatest to ever pitch, and he's not shy about telling you that.
yeah.
I mean, he's told us multiple times this weekend and that this was going to be his game. So to see Joe Vanish come out, and he's thrown very well in the first 2 innings, but to see him come out and take the rubber instead of Ryan Wood, it was very surprising to a lot of us over in the stands.
Yeah, and Ed, when they got the big lead in the semifinal game, they went to Costa. So the thought, at least up here, was, oh yeah, they're just gonna give Ryan, another
Little
inning
rest.
off.
Yeah. So, Black Dog Country Club, they are a very smart hitting team. So, what we're going to assume is going to happen, because Ivanish has struggled to hit the zone. So, what we can assume is Black Dog is going up there with the mentality to take a strike, maybe even 2. And they're not shy about putting the bat on the shoulder and forcing a pitcher to hit the zone and get them out. And they're down 5-0. They are a savvy team. So this game is far from over.
I agree. I'm glad you brought up that point about the strikes, because I think that one of the, I don't want to say overlook things, but a lot of teams that played in this event this weekend, they come from a league or they play in events where it's 2 strikes or even like a one and done scenario. So the fact that you get 3 strikes in this event, you really have the luxury of taking pitches. At MAW, it's tough to take a pitch because you're down 0-2 right away, or in Tim's Texas League where it's one and done. So when you have the luxury of essentially getting a free pitch, maybe even a free swing, you can be a little bit more patient up there. To me, it's crazy how different it is between yard and fast pitch with the 2-strike, 3-strike thing.
Oh, absolutely.
These games take forever.
And if you've seen now, Vanish has only hit the strike zone twice out of about 10 warm-up pitches. So Black Dog is for sure seeing this. Jay has been around the game for a very long time, and he's able to key in on these things, and he can pick apart a pitcher left and right. So I'm sure that's what him and Denap are talking about right now behind the thing, saying, hey, look for this pitch, and if you notice, he hasn't thrown this pitch for a strike at all. So they're going to go up there now. I'm going to say that they're going to be taking some pitches right now, try and get base runners on and make something happen, because you can't hit a 5-run home run.
There you go. I just wonder also how many minutes this has been for warm-ups here. Coming from Gaul, where we have an unwritten rule where we don't even warm up.
Yeah.
This guy's really using
But
warm-ups.
I mean, as we've seen, the suspects are keen to follow rules and they're sticklers for it. So that's why they're gonna use all their time allotted.
That's right. They are not sticklers for it. That's very true. But you know what? That's what they're there for.
So if you look right now, if you just saw that, Matty Griffin, he's got his. Usually you see Matty, he kind of pulls back at the same time, and it looked like, yep, he was in take mode right now. So they got one, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Matty in take mode again.
Was that inside?
That hit the low
so we
inside
are-
corner on Matty.
Count as 1-1 here. So we're back at the action here. It's bottom of the second, 5-0 suspects. Joe Evans is still in the game. Matty Griffin leading off. There's the 1-1 pitch. Ooh, screwball
So-
low and away.
So, strike 2, but again, that was out of the zone.
Mm-hmm.
So, you don't see Black Dog swing out of the zone a whole lot. So, if they want to get back in this game, they're going to need to force him to throw strikes.
I would agree with you 100%, Ed. And Evans historically is a strike thrower, so they should get plenty of opportunities.
Ooh, just missed outside.
That's crazy. They're looking at also hit. Tell you, wiffle ball. The ball may move 1,000 feet, but it's still a game of inches. And this is low in the
Screw.
dirt there.
So, full count now. We're going to see what the payoff pitch is looking like with what Vanish is going to do. But I'm sure Matty is keyed in on one or the other, and he's looking for it. I think Matty's more primarily of a push hitter.
Oh, wow.
so he was not looking for that. But I like this. I like when Matty. I think he's his best when he's going to the right side, when he's going to the right field. It means he's seeing the ball deep. But
I feel like he was expecting some type of outside riser, maybe not the screwball. So it's not really like Evans doesn't really throw a screwball. It's like almost like a two-seam fastball because it kind of it'll go into a righty and then kind of check up at the end. That one had a little more of a loop to it, so I think maybe that's what kind of threw Matty off. It kind of looked like it would be a more traditional screwball, but then it kind of just like dropped down at the end.
and though you can't see it from this angle, we have had the radar gun on Ivanish this entire time. In the first inning, he was sitting low 90s, upper 80s, and this is the first time really that he's thrown in a year. I'm not sure how much they've used him this tournament, so he might be pretty fresh. And Jay's up there. Jay is in take mode. He's going to force him to throw a strike, and Jay is arguably one of the best eyes in the sport.
It's true. Well, Black Dog is down 5, so they need any base runners now. So Jay, the all-time consummate veteran, will take his pitches. Will be patient. Evanish will bang the zone there. 2-1 is the count. 1 out here in the bottom of the second. Here's the pitch from Ivanish. There it is again, that little two-seamer on the outside corner, strike 2. Even more of a difficult to pitch to hit for a lefty because that ball, the pitch is a ball the whole time until the very end. It's very difficult to pull the trigger on a pitch like that. Ooh, misses inside there. But to get away with it, Wood with the play. 2 outs. Or 3 outs. No, it's 3. 2. Nobody can count.
So Brian DiNapoli is coming back up, and you can only think DNAP's looking for that screwball coming back. I know he loves a right-handed screwball, but with that ball coming back in towards a lefty, it's a tough pitch to hit, but I think DNAP may be keyed in on that and trying to go the other way with it.
Well, Evanish must have known that because he saw him over the little rising slider. Gets ahead of the count 0-1. Wood with towel. You know, you wonder at what point is the towel like even dry? It's just a wet towel wiping off a wet ball. I'm not quite really sure what it's about. Maybe it's just like a superstition at this point.
Same.
Yeah. It's kind of weird. Ground ball.
Oh, it's on the line. On the line, Johnny Whist makes the throw and throws it into the dirt.
Wow.
Throws it into the dirt. And maybe that's why Lanigan tried to sit Johnny Costa for like 7 games this entire tournament. But not sure. I know players use different balls. So if Ivanish hasn't thrown, maybe Johnny hasn't taken a warm-up throw with it. The ball just didn't do exactly what he thought. And
Matty grab.
Matty gets a hold of it, and Scott Alford makes the play on the track about 2 feet from the fence.
Right. So that'll retire the side. You know, also maybe that ball was kind of wet because we really was spinning in the grass. So we're through 2 here at People's Bank Park. 5-0. Usual suspects.
We got commercials on this thing.
That's what I'm trying to look for it. On the switcher, I know they have commercials. This thing is like what they do in TV when they bring in like the live tweets. That's so sick.
Yeah.
It's not
Paul
connecting.
still hasn't learned the whole thing yet because it's so deep.
Yeah. It wasn't working. This is that other site we were looking at, that Nemo. You see the one we talked about?
Yeah.
You see, this is a lot more going on here than Switcher.
We use one for Friday Night Football games that we do broadcast and do all the commercials and stuff.
If you want to mute, just click the audio only off of live. So just click the iPod.
All right, guys, we're back here. We are in the top of the third. Suspects up 5-0. If you haven't been here yet, Dan Whitener let up 5 runs. They were kind of getting to him, and they brought in Brian DiNapoli in relief. And DiNap was able to get out of that inning without getting up and giving up anything else. So if he's able to shut them down, they may be able to get back into this game.
That's right. He need a couple of clean innings here from BDCC. Oh, nasty pitch there.
Weren't able to see that one there, but he did throw one of those overhand super curves, an overhand super curve that was able to get Ryan Wood to swing over top of it.
So DiNap, is a very crafty pitcher. He'll throw his usual conventional stuff, but then he really throws a lot of other, I don't want to say garbage, but a lot of junk up there. But then that's what makes his pitches look even faster.
Yeah, he's smart with the way he mixes, and he really has the same approach when it comes to medium pitch as well. He throws everything, and he feels comfortable throwing anything in any count. So as a hitter, you're constantly on your toes having to see what he's going to throw. And Ryan Wood ropes a single. Matty Griffin makes the play before the wall in left field. So there's no outs, runner on first.
Yeah, I mean, he a little too much of the plate there, Packer. If we could look at a replay, it was a little Brooklyn that kind of just leaked over the middle of the plate. Wood pulled it, for a ground ball, but he hit it so hard it kind of hit a little bit of the dirt from the mound and skidded into the outfield for a base hit. So to bring up Alford, who's got a home run today, and let's see if he can extend the lead here. Pitch low and away. Recently, Alford, we all know he's a historically good hitter, but recently really hasn't been doing that well. So it's good to see him get a home run in a big stage. I know it's going to mean a lot to him.
So
This
we're
could
gonna
be
go for
2.
Let's see if Jay keeps his foot in there. Jay makes the throw, and Jay just barely misses the zone, but hits the backstop. 2 outs now. Black Dog is one of the best fielding teams in this tournament.
Absolutely. I mean, Jay's a vacuum out there. But DiNap, it's a tough play on this field because the ball is going to hit the grass, then hit a little bit of the dirt, and then hit the mat. So DiNap did a good job, waiting for that ball to come, make the play. Good toss to Jay. 2 outs.
So Johnny Costa here, he was the hero in the quarterfinals for them, hitting the home run off Dan Haverty. Dan Haverty was throwing very well with his unscuffed ball. Johnny was just able to get one over the middle of the plate and put it out to center. And we've seen Johnny this game have success by going towards the second base side where Black Dog, because they're only playing 3 in the field, they're leaving that side open.
That is correct.
And he's done it, I think, 2 times this game where he's just snuck one down that line.
Yeah, Johnny's a consummate hitter. Really could play all sides of the field. I'm sure if we had a spray chart for him, it would really be pretty evenly distributed around the field. And those are the kind of guys you want to have in your lineup. And you just need guys to spray the ball, especially like you said, in this situation. Black Dog choosing to only play with 2 fielders in the pitcher, so a whole side of the field is wide open. That was a really nice riser from DiNap.
Yeah, that ball came up. That was like an old school riser that you see that actually came up rather than just being a flat like fastball. And that hit the top inside corner on Johnny here. I want to say the count's 2-2 or 1-2.
I think it's 1-2.
DiNap's staring in. He's known for this, where he stares in like he's going to get the pitch, and he throws that tailing riser right on the inner half on Johnny. Strikes him out.
That's right. That little Brooklyn there. That'll retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, nobody left. We'll go to the bottom of the third here at PBP. That's People's Bank Park. Like that, I just throw that on the spot. 5-0. All right, folks, we are back here, bottom of the third, 5-0 Suspects. Evan is still on the mound for the Suspects. No Ryan Wood to be had yet. Really don't need him yet, Packer. It's 5-0. Jay Van Treska in the box.
So that's low. Hits the back pipe. Did not hit the zone. Advantage has been able to control the lower half of the plate though with that slider he's been throwing.
He does a really good job staying on top of the ball.
And he's not a traditional pitcher in wiffle ball that you see where guys like to try to hide the ball. Advantage is the type of pitcher where he keeps it out front like a baseball pitcher and says, "This is what you're getting."
It's almost like it's like Gerard, very Gerard-esque in yard, where it really just shows you the ball. He's not really showing you the ball. I'm sure that he's blocking it and kind of covering his hand placements. He's not that I don't want to say stupid, but he's not that naive, you know. But regardless, you're right. He doesn't have the ball behind him. He's not doing a lot of herky-jerky stuff. It's kind of just get the ball and fire.
His slider is moving a lot. From this vantage point, you can see how much it's moving. He's throwing that right behind Jay's knee that he so infamously has the knee brace on. And it looks almost as if he's using that as a target, and that's coming back and hitting the outside half.
Oh.
Jay just gets under it. Johnny whiffs, goes running onto the other field, not able to get it, just out of reach.
You know, another thing about Evidence that makes him a good pitcher is that he throws from the same arm angle a lot. So he'll throw his riser, he'll throw his drop, and he'll throw that pitch right there, all from the same spot. So it makes it very difficult to track.
Yeah, when we eventually get an Edgertronic camera, we're gonna be able to see all those slots.
Those camera shots are so cool.
And what's crazy about this game is the fact that we have Joe Advantage who's starting pitching for the Suspects. And in a game that there's not a lot of left-handed pitchers in our sport, but we're seeing one now in the finals.
That's right. Yeah, we were talking about it earlier with Paul. Only a few lefties really in the event. You had him, you had Bryce Clark, you had Nate Smith, and I'm sure there were a couple others. But really, it's a primarily righty pitcher-dominated league. So Jay went down looking, which is also very rare. 1 out. That's going to bring up DNAP here. So the one thing going for BDCC here, going with the 3-man lineup, is that they're going to get a lot of at-bats, a lot of looks. So this is DNAP's, I think, 4th at-bat already this game. So eventually he's going to see one here.
Yeah, and for the folks at home who are interested in how did these two teams get here, what was their run like today? The Suspects actually came in as the 10 seed on the day. They did not have an early bye, and they played a game last night. Who did they play last night? They played the Canines.
Yes.
They played the Canines last night. They were the last game to get finished last night around 10 o'clock.
They were actually losing that game early, 2-0. And then Ryan Wood had a blast late to get to give them a 3-2 lead, in which they held on to win.
And then they came in today and they played the WSEM Dream Team, who was the 7th seed. And they were able to win that game 1-0. It got them to these O-Bombers, which was Dan Haverty pitching and Sylvie. And that, like we said earlier, that was Johnny Costa just getting a hold of one, hitting it right up the middle. And it just squeaked out, but it got out nonetheless. And then they just played the Whippets, which are a California team who made an extremely deep run that was, I don't want to say unexpected, but they were definitely not a top team expected to make that run, and they battled the entire tournament.
I agree. I think the Whippets definitely qualify as a Cinderella story for this event. A great event from them. 2-1 yesterday, having to play the game at night instead of this morning, making a nice run today, beating some good teams, beating the Midwest Monstars, beating the Bomb Squad, who a lot of people had picked to make a run today with Whitman and Dev Torres and Mike Stiles. But the Suspects are here. We'll go through BDCC next time they're in the field to go through their path to the finals. But we're going to get back to it. Wow.
So Matty Griffin check swings, throws it. Ryan Wood makes the throw into the dirt.
Wow.
You hate to see that, folks.
That looked like me.
That may be why he's not pitching this game.
That was odd. It actually looked like he realized his back foot was going to come out of the triangle area, and then he short on the ball.
So what that does there is that gets the runner at first base. So that'll keep the runner on second.
That's right. I guess the batter technically, right? The runner from first will move to second, and the batter is out. So now we have runner on second, 2 outs, and that's going to bring back up Jay. And if you're Black Dog here, you got to run in scoring position. You got to get a run. It's the third inning. It's getting, as they say, it's getting late early, and you got to get a run here. And what better guy to have up at the plate right now with 2 outs than Jay?
With a runner in scoring position as well. With the rules that we have here, if Jay hits a clean single here, that will score a run. There's no opportunity for Alfred to make the throw.
That's right.
And Alfred is over the top with his throws. He doesn't throw a rise. He throws a straight ball. But we've seen Alfred make some great throws from the outfield. He's extremely accurate with a straight ball.
No, it's very odd, actually. He throws the ball very weird from the outfield, but hey, whatever works. Here's the pitch. Oh, that's a hot fly ball from Jay.
Jay hits a bomb down the right field line.
Just like that, Packer, one swing of the bat. We got ourselves a baseball game here, or a wiffle ball game, really, either or. Both the same thing. No, it's 5-2. Oh, it's crushed. Both teams hitting bombs down the right field line.
Paul, how do we change that? How do we change the score to 2? And that was a 2-run shot, not a 3-run shot, right?
And then just like your strike button.
We noticed I saw upper right, so I wasn't sure if that was the right one. All right.
Or no?
No.
So we're here 5-2 now. There's a
Evanish
big
comes
strike
right
there.
back.
It's a big pitch. So Black Dog, even if they get out of this inning with only 2 runs, they did what they needed to. They got some runs back, trying to make this a little bit more of a competition here. I wonder if this is going to be Evanish's last inning, Packer.
No, based off of that throw from second base, I'm not sure if Ryan Wood's not hurt or he's just tight from not. Maybe he threw all he could, and they said this is their best option to go with the vanish, and because that throw looked very uncomfortable.
Looked very Bob Endure-esque. Speaking of Bob, welcome to the booth, Bob Alondru. Bob, I heard your moonshot off of Ryan Bush is still landing brilliant today.
Well, you know what? Homers are homers. If you don't win at the end of the day, it's just a failed tournament. But that was a big one for sure.
That's true. So Bob, we're sitting here now at 3 innings in the books. It's 5-2 Suspects. What are your thoughts on how this game is playing out so far?
I actually called that Joe Evanish should start this game even before that. I don't know if the decision was made before or whatever. I thought it was a decent idea. More about familiarity, which you've seen has been a theme of this tournament, is bats go based off familiarity of guys, and you see players that see certain players all the time in different leagues and formats, and it becomes a tough matchup. Regardless of what you throw and how hard guys throw, it's become a really strategic sort of way to get through these games of guys maybe using their second best option to get through a big game.
So now, as we're saying this, it seems like Woods got a bunch of balls in his hands. He just threw a bunch against the T-Mobile sign. He's tossing a little bit with Alfred here. I wonder if maybe he's going to see if he can get in, or maybe he was just practicing throwing the ball from second base. Perhaps.
I mean, he has purchased enough wiffle balls for myself and has had Dan Moore scuff more than I think he'd like to. He might as well be out there pitching, but Joe Evanish is as good of a pitcher as there is around. He just doesn't play enough and kind of has low pash, which you hate to see because there's been a ton of pash this entire weekend. Big shout out to the Midwest guys who I met a lot of them for the first time. They really seemed to enjoy themselves, and both of them competed very well as well, which is just great to see.
I agree. Midwest Monstars, WSAM, and the Will Waves, also 3 Midwest teams making a good run here, finishing in the top 16.
So we can actually see Johnny Costas now back there warming up. And Costas thrown, I think he got beat early by the Phenoms. I believe the Phenoms beat him in round robin, but since then Johnny has been lights out for the usual suspects.
I agree. This could be an interesting pitching change. I mean, if I was Suspects, I probably would stick with Evanish, though. They really haven't hit him. You know, and that pitch that Jay hit was pretty inside. I mean, Jay's a great hitter, but it's not like he left it over the plate. So I wonder if maybe they'll just stick with him.
Was that a changeup he hit
I don't know.
I believe it was an inside drop screw.
Yeah,
it just, like,
It,
stayed
I-
there.
it looked
was,
like he
way,
got it off
way
the
in,
handle.
way,
Yeah.
in on it.
Yeah, I'm actually
Because
surprised
he
he
kind of
got
like just
there.
yoinked it.
Yeah.
So we're back here in the top of the fourth now. Top of the fourth, and let's go through Black Dog and how they got here, because they've had a very, very tough side of the bracket to get through. They started this morning against the Whiffleholics, which the Whiffleholics just got back into the sport, but they're not an easy team to get through, especially because of just the familiarity of how often they play each other. They were
Veteran players.
Yeah, they had to face Noder, who seems like you could face Noder 100 times. He's still very difficult to face.
I mean, the bat like Matt Venti in the lineup. You're just afraid. If you're a team that you know on paper, like, hey, we should beat them, but that familiarity aspect is, hey, Matt Venti or Noder catches one, we lose 1-0. Like, that's how fast pitch goes a lot. And if you get yourself in that hole, it's tough to come back from.
That is a very good point, Bob.
And after Black Dog beat them, their road seemingly only got harder. They went against the Phenoms, who the Phenoms have been in the national championship game the last 3 years. In that game, they started out with Jordan Robles on the mound, and I know Jordan had thrown a little bit earlier in the tournament, but Black Dog was able to touch up some runs and hit some big home runs against them, and they ended up winning that game 5-0. And then they faced my team, Z4, and they came out, and Whitener threw really well, and they ended up 10 running C4, and now that leads them here.
That's right. Yeah, definitely. I would say a harder road. Not to take anything away from WSCM or Whippets, but I would say the Suspects had the easier course today to get to this championship game. BDCC definitely played some tougher opponents. But
Ooh,
another
uncharacteristic
That's
bobble
two.
by Jay.
That's 2 from Jay today that he probably wished he could have back. So we have, I believe, 1 out, and I got first.
Ryan Wood coming up to the plate, and Ryan has absolutely smashed the ball today.
Yeah.
His last at bat, he hit a single past Jay that Matty was able to get to at the wall. He hit a home run earlier in the game, but just kind of flailing at that one.
Yeah, he really flowed that one, but I mean, he could probably still hit anything. This is a big point in the game. DNAP cannot allow the Suspects to get any more runs. He needs to keep it a 3-run lead here so they can continue to work.
Yeah, because I think they know that if they touch up Joe in any way next inning, that they may make a change, and the change might be better for them in some way. It's not like they're going to get a better stuff. I mean, Joe is the freshest arm that they have. He's throwing 90. But his stuff is limited. He only has about 2+ pitches. There are a few good changeups as well, but
Speaking of changeup there, Bob, DiNapoli just threw a fantastic riser change that just kind of died out at the bottom half of the zone. And he was able to effectively get Ryan Wood to just swing a little too early and over top of it. And that's what makes DiNapoli such a great pitcher, is because he's able to mix his locations and his speeds so effectively.
Agreed. He's really a good tactician out there. When he misses low there, I believe the count's now 3-2 to Wood.
Let's see if there's a check swing.
Always controversial. There you go, 3-2, 1 out, 1 on. This is a big pitch right here.
The payoff pitch, runner on base.
Ooh.
He goes back to it. Batter's out. Infield fly. So, that's the first time we've seen this on camera here. Danny Lanigan actually screamed infield fly, which is a new rule that we're implementing in United Wiffle here. So, if you call for an infield fly, the batter is automatically out. Runners will not advance. So, despite Jay dropping that ball, Ryan Wood is still out. The bases remain the same with a runner on first.
That's right. It kind of alleviates that chance little double play that players tend to go for. But if you don't call the infield fly, then that double play is still available. But Danny, the veteran, not only on the rules committee, but also a rules stickler in general, we all know. That's the third time he's called it today, I think, to be honest.
I actually heard Black Dog call it last night. Yes, maybe it was today. Earlier today they had called it. So, hey, kudos to guys who read the rule book, because every tournament is different, especially UWIF is our first event as an organization. We kind of took some different things from different rule books that we felt would work in this event. And is there work to be done? For sure, there's never a perfect rule book, but it's important for every player and team to understand the rule book that's being used in every event you play. So it's not an excuse. It's certainly a talking point at times. The guys want to discuss some ways to make rules, more clear or more fair, whatever it is. We're all in the same boat. We want the game to be as fair as possible, but as competitive as possible. So.
Yeah, and no doubt. I mean, at the end of the day, like you said, Rob, we do bring a lot of rules from a lot of different leagues, and sometimes you can only read the rule book so many times. As a high fly ball from Alfred.
Matty Griff comes up. Matty Griff with the sliding
is
play,
called.
even though Matty Griff throws it away. So there's 2 outs. Runner on second base now. And when it comes to rules, with the survey that's going to be sent out afterwards, if you guys have any issues with rules or questions, let us know. Because when it comes down to United Wiffle, we are about the player. We're trying to do everything about what the players want. So if you have anything, let us know.
That's right, Packer. Couldn't have said it better myself. But I was saying before about the rules, you can read the rulebook so many times, but sometimes in the middle of a game, you kind of black out and your brain just remembers what you know, and that rule might be different in this event. So it's important to just always stay active, and it's also why we have rule books at every field, just to double check.
So runner on second base, Johnny Costa up, and if you notice here, Matty Griff actually came up to block off that other side because Costa has just squeaked a few singles off to that right where Matty is at now. So they're coming up, blocking it, conceding that if he hits one to the outfield, it's going to clear him anyway.
It's true, and I would say that the wind, is according to the flag, is blowing in. That was a sick pitch.
And you see Johnny looking disbelief at this incredible super curve. Runner on second, 2 outs.
Sorry, I meant.
Well, he's looking
Well,
at
then.
stop that any kind of clean single here.
Yeah, which is a smart play. You want to keep it 5-2 here. And like I said before, Johnny does a really good job going the other way. Pitch. Popped him
Ooh,
up fat.
Johnny Costa just misses that one. That just tipped it, went straight back, and as you can see, I believe that's Tom Gannon looking homeless back there.
Hey.
Looking
That's
like
a
he
second,
just found.
That's a second place ass boy right there. Nice try.
Looking like he just found an apple out of the trash can.
I was getting some reviews on the Facebook stream, and I heard the commentary was not as good there, but the viewership way up on that.
I agree.
So we'll take that into account for our
Oh, the ground ball just foul.
Well, traditionally YouTube is a great venue to watch games, but guys are probably watching on their phones, so they're probably watching on Facebook.
I did post the link on the Facebook link before because guys were confused as to where everything was. So, it's tough out there. Sometimes you got to go search and find it. We do our best to try to get it out there for you.
Struck him out.
Got it.
In reality, all the Whifflers should be here right now watching this game in person here in York, Pennsylvania.
Not wrong,
An
Bob.
amazing weekend here at York People's Bank Stadium.
That's right, the old PBP.
Chandler,
Side retired, Packer. Let me just call this inning here. The side is retired. We're going to go to the bottom of the fourth now. It is 5-2 BDCC. Got to get some runs. Packer, yes.
Yeah, so looking at the comments section of what people are saying, and Chandler Phillips asks, how are the suspects winning? They stunk at the dish.
Wow.
Despite maybe some earlier tournament lack of success.
Love that WSEM is talking smack about the suspects. Love that.
Everyone hates Flanagan.
Yeah, nobody likes that. I agree. WSEM, that first game this morning had so much red, white, and blue going on between the WSEM Dream Team and the suspects. A lot of patriotism going on. A lot of red, white, and blue.
Sure.
But a lot of
great
boring.
rendition of the national anthem by
I agree.
York's finest today here. That was
agree.
very nice. Of course, that faux last call at the bar before really threw the snack bar girl for a loop. Because she was under the impression it was already closed, and you're making the announcement, and she's in there like, and then there was a bull rush of about 20 degenerates who went up to that snack bar.
Probably mostly Doc.
She had no choice but to give out more alcohol.
Wow.
And since she slighted me, Bob got the last one.
Joe Evanish is out here still warming up. That's the first strike he's thrown now. First strike he's thrown in a few pitches, so they're going out there, and it looks like that was a little bit longer inning than they expected. So they're just trying to get him warmed up
inning
again.
to inning, it's tough to get. It's raw out there. You can see the field is getting a little sloppy. You could hear each step in the dirt around that mound, sliding around on. Yeah. And I will say, if you were to step on the actual baseball batter's mound, or the second bit. What is that? Yeah, it's the pitcher's mound. The slipperiest spot that you will ever stand on in your entire life.
That's true. That
Might
is
as
true.
well just be a gallon of oil
That's like an ice
spilled
rink.
on that spilled on that tarp.
I'll tell you, man, it is. I tell you, no matter who wins this championship today, they're going to earn it. It is cold. It is raw. Some would say it's gallish out here. It's just not warm, but that's why they're really going to utilize their full 5 minutes of warm-ups. You got to keep those arms loose.
It's 2 minutes between.
That's true. It is 2 minutes. I guess. Well,
Know your rule book, and that brings us to the next point.
Great point.
Always read your rule book because you got to know these intricacies.
That's right.
I would say.
it's bottom for you.
I will say for any of those guys out there who may have experienced the very new rule book for the first time and maybe had questions or even arguments, I think the best thing, this is a self-officiated gentleman's game. Talk it out with the other team before the situation happens, so it becomes a discussion instead of an argument. Because usually it's after the fact, and now someone's mad. And if you don't know the rule book, you're going to get mad, but it's not the other team's fault for not knowing the rule.
Wow, there's the
Throws a
there's that-
nasty
There it is, right there. Yeah.
screwball right on the inner half on Matty Griff. He was not expecting that. And again, from United Wiffle, we want to thank People's Bank Park and the York Revolution for everything that they've done for us through this entire week and everything leading up to it. For the folks who weren't here, this event today was started with, like Rob said, the national anthem from one of York's finest. It was a great rendition. But we also had the ceremonial first. It was supposed to be the first hit, but we did it the first pitch with Jim McElhatton and his son Max McElhatton, who was diagnosed with cancer, but they are die-hard wiffle fanatics. And they travel up and down the East Coast playing in multiple tournaments throughout the year. And we here at United Wiffle couldn't think of a better way to start today with the incredible amount of games we've had.
I agree. That was a really nice moment. The players really got into it. The crowd really got into it. It was just another special moment. And, that's what we're all here for, right? We're here to have some fun. We're here to honor those who are battling some struggles. And, we're all just a big, happy family here. So back to the action here. Evanish still facing Matty Griff. The count probably full. No idea. Here's the pitch.
Lays
Ball
off it.
outside, and it is going to be indeed ball.
Gets a runner on.
4.
Gets a runner on. Jay Ventresca.
Puts the tying run in the on-deck circle here, bottom 4. If you're BDCC, this is your chance.
So we're in the bottom of the 4th. We've got one more inning. This is the equivalent to the bottom of the 8th in a baseball game. This is the hitter you want up with guys on base. This is your guy. And again, it looks like Evanish is getting a few little issues with control. He seems to be losing a little bit, but again, when he's lost it earlier, when he's lost it, he's found it relatively quick. So that's 5 out of the last 6.
That's true. But again, this also looks like it's Evanish's game to pitch here. No Wood, no Costa yet.
Ooh,
Jay
Jay
gives him
helps
one
him out.
there.
And that's a rarity. Jay had, we've said it earlier in the broadcast, that Jay has one of the best eyes in the sport, and it's very rare that he swings at anything that's not going to hit the zone.
That's true. Oh, today's weather is currently 44 degrees. The real feel is 41. Humidity 92%. It is pretty gross out there, like Robin said before. Foul tip into the zone. Now,
Straight-
what we all really
straight
want to
back.
know is where is Jeff Banton? Because we all know he had a side bet going on with Foodman about what the temperature was going to be last night. And, Foodman was here for the bet. Geoff was not. And the temperature was indeed 55 degrees, and the bet was 55, so it was a push. So Geoff gets the safe face and not lose his job. But you know what? Don't ever underestimate a geology minor, Geoff.
That's right. Tournament administrator Tim Dean also did not believe that Jeff Banton was a real person until I explained to him that he was actually here at this tournament this weekend.
That's right.
And Geoff is not a real person. If you were to meet him and understand him a little bit, he's not truly a real person. But we love him.
He's a
Appreciate-
caricature.
Appreciate what he does for any wiffle brand,
No
and
way.
of course, weather reports.
He did do a fantastic weather report for us that we did put on the Facebook page. So
But
if you really want to have a good laugh, you can go on there.
But again, you can't underestimate the power of technology and the iPhone weather app.
Nice try. Weather Channel.
What was the official source for the bet?
We never came to an agreement because GF kept changing his tune every time the temperature was
that's
changing.
Why, well, right there shows you why weather's fake news.
Yep.
I mean, you got multiple sources telling me the weather. This should be an official weather tracking.
I agree.
Government, NOAA.
Well, Noah was kind of agreed to, but then he was, again, just backing out. I don't really want to talk about it anymore. It's really,
I feel like
really
he's
offensive.
using a Fugazi thermometer paid for.
Boom, Jay
by-
pops it straight up. They call infield fly. So, again, that's the second time we've seen it this game. They call the infield fly, so Ryan could not drop that in turn 2. Brings up Brian DiNapoli, who he's been relatively quiet at the plate today, but he is probably one of the best left-handed bats in the sport.
I agree. They're going to need him to come through here. I believe there's now 2 outs with a runner on first base. DNAP, ball to wall, will get another run in here, and they're running out of time here. Only 4 outs to go. There's a ball low and away. Again, this
there
is
might only be one out.
Evanish's game. There might only be one out?
There might only be one. I think the leadoff was Maddie, and Maddie walked.
All right, so even better. 1 on, 1 out. Pitch. Wow, again, Evanish has just been picking the corner of that U-whiff board, right where that T-Mobile sign is in the bottom right.
Of course, again, the winner of this game taking home the U-whiff National Championship trophy.
Ooh, there he hits it to Johnny Costa. Johnny turns, throws it to Ryan Wood, who steps, makes the throw, and connects.
Wow. I tell you, Ryan Wood definitely taking the pages out of mine and yours book, Bob.
Oh, yeah.
Throw the ball to second base.
So it
Sometimes
looks
you just
like
gotta
Ryan-
push it and not put any
Ryan's
effort.
running over to the dugout, and Johnny Costa kind of gave him a point. So I'm not sure if that is saying, hey, one of us is going next inning, or what it was, but Ryan Wood pranced over to the dugout.
He did.
He's getting a massage gun out.
I just don't understand why they would want to make a pitching
I don't
change.
see
Evanish has
yeah,
been dominating
makes
here,
no sense.
but maybe he's got nothing left. I don't know. We'll find out. Johnny Whiffs does have the ball, and he is firing against that T-Mobile sign on the back. By the way, a little critique of that sign with all the championships. This is for Tim Cook from Matty Griffin. Matty Griffin unhappy that his team is not on there for 2016 when they won.
Well, that was a fake
But
tournament.
it was a
Be-
draft tournament.
Because it was a
That's right.
draft tournament.
That's
And
right. Fake tournament, fake news, fake player,
Again,
Fake
the
player,
idea,
wow.
fake team.
the idea of the United
Fake
Wiffle
weatherman.
Ball, the idea of United Wiffle Ball's national championship tournament is, it is an unrestricted roster, and again, a draft tournament is a restricted roster because. the
That's
way
true.
they
You
have-
unfortunately have to draft someone like
Of course,
me
back
on your
to Tony,
team.
that
So no
company
good.
line there, we'd love to see that.
Yeah,
of
that's
course,
right.
we'll never forget any championship that Matty Griffin's won, which is very few.
Huh.
But
he's
more
really-
than me and more than Thug.
I tell you what, though, he's won. He has not won 3 Players Cup championships. I'll tell you that. That's right, folks. We roared mediocrity here in Golden Stick. A lot of Players Cup champions. A lot of plaques. Otherwise, I'd have nothing.
That's true.
Right, Packer?
Sure.
Packer, I'm gonna be fully transparent here. Stein keeps trying to come on this show here. And,
The fact
Well,
that
it's
you had to
unfortunate.
mention that
We're just gonna
name,
receptively
it totally
deny
ruined
him.
the broadcast.
Well, it's
and-
unfortunate because he didn't show up.
That's
And if
right.
he was here, maybe we would have done something. And the whole argument of I'm a teacher and COVID, blah, 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 unfortunately does not cut it because
Now
there
we're
were.
gonna have to cut the mic here for a few out of these two guys. Just getting way too political. here.
yeah,
we
a
just
lot
don't need that
of
here.
lot of polarization
You're
going on
whiff.
here.
Wear a
We're here
mask.
to talk about whiffs and have some
We
fun.
took all. We at this tournament took all precautions that the CDC and government recommended. So if you can't wear a mask and take care of yourself, that is unfortunately on you.
Yeah, you
In a
have to grow
sport
up.
where there's a lot of degenerates and
The
low-level
degenerates-
people.
Wow. Only
I'm
the
Gerard.
dumbs.
Gerard
the
was
dumbs.
here.
Did you just say there were low-level
Low-level
As my father would say, low lives. He's saying there were low lives playing whiffs.
Low lives.
It's like
Bunch of low lives.
Danny Lanigan actually told the story on his Holy Commutes podcast the other day when he mentioned his first tournament he ever went to where his dad dropped him off at the tournament. It was about a 3-hour car ride, I guess, or 2-hour car ride, and his dad drove him to the Wiffle Up World Finals. And his dad said, "Yeah, I'll drive you, but I'm not staying."
Probably a smart decision. All right, here we go. It's top of the 5th. It's crunch time now for BDCC. DNAP got to hold it to a 3-run lead, so they have a chance in the bottom. Evanish can lead off here. Packer making weird sounds. Love that.
Evanish is another one of those guys who throws left, bats right. Nate Smith does that.
That is true.
Chris, I'm gonna.
You know, it's funny you say that.
That's
Is it
left.
okay
He
if I
could
come
bat
back
left
tomorrow to get that?
I could have sworn Evanish batted lefty back in the old fast pitch New York days.
has to
And
go.
Evanish
But
actually,
he mostly bat right.
Yeah.
Evanish is actually the home run derby champion from last year at Fast
He
Plastic.
has dad strength, folks.
He does. He's really looking good. He never was fat, but he's certainly toned up a little bit.
Well, the usual suspects actually said that leading up to this tournament, they all did some type of weight loss challenge where I believe Evanish lost 40
right.
pounds. 40 pounds, I believe Lanigan said 15, and all those guys had lost 15 plus pounds, but I think Evanish took the
Pretty sure
cake.
Scott Alford was already in
That's true.
fabulous shape.
I'm also glad you brought that up because I was also supposed to be part of that challenge. And I would tell you, about 48 hours into it, I found myself at the Taco Bell drive-thru telling Lanigan to piss off. And that crunch wrap was worth it. Hate to see it. And you know what? I'm sitting here probably not as cold as everybody else.
I'm not cold.
Blubber.
This is why you take ice baths, folks.
That's right, folks. And here we go. Here's the pitch.
Ooh,
Does
check
that hit the
swing.
bat? Oh, it hit his knuckle.
The big question now is, did he swing?
Definitely didn't swing.
Well, that's
But-
the big argument earlier in the game as well.
Yep, looks like it's going to be ball 4, and that's going to
Looks
bring
like
up
Black
Ryan
Dog.
Wood.
Looks like Black Dog takes the high road again.
Yeah, let's see if Ryan Wood can exterminate this next pitch from Dina, like he exterminates bees and other roaches for Woody's exterminating business
true.
based out of Ronkonkoma, New York. Woody's. Kill your bugs tomorrow. Of course, I got to see Wood in action in his exterminating outfit when we were at Coops one day when he was killing all those bees.
You were there? when he did that?
I was there. It was,
I saw that video.
It was
very nice.
quite
the wasps,
the scene.
The wasps
Yeah,
in the front
yeah,
tree.
yeah,
You
yeah.
get to see it.
Oh,
Ground ball.
Jay with his third error.
Wow, Jay's done.
Oh, Jay's done. That is Jay's third. Well, the first one he dove for, but the last two definitely are Jay
It's not
balls.
easy. My guess is he's expecting hops that aren't coming.
Yeah, and I also think your hands are cold. The ball's wet. You
It
know.
ain't
And-
quick to get to the ground.
And at the same time, it's fast pitch wiffle ball where there's usually not a lot of balls coming out.
I mean, that ball is flying off the bat.
So a ball that's hit that hard, and there's not a lot of hard hit balls in the game, you really do have to stay in the game mentally because it will eventually find you.
That's
You
right.
can't look at misplays as like an error and someone messed up. Just pretend there wasn't someone there and just pretend it was scored. Just, you can't make every play.
So we're gonna get back into here. It's now first and second. Wow.
Nobody out.
Nobody out. Big moment in the game here. Any insurance runs are big for the suspects. BDCC, they're already down 3. They cannot afford to give up any more runs here. They brought the infield in again because they want to cut down on a clean single, which will score a run. Ground ball.
Back to
Jay.
Jay.
There it is.
Jay, Matty slides,
Play by he's in.
throws it away. That
Tell you
was just an unfortunate. And Bob, you mentioned that earlier in the broadcast. That is the slipperiest part of the field.
That
I agree.
was
That second base
amazing
area is.
recovery by Matty.
The fact that he was able to
I
even
wouldn't say
catch
he
the
rushed
ball.
the throw per se.
So I believe it keeps runners on second and third now, and that
Second
gets
and
the
third,
runner
yes.
at first with 1 out.
Second, third, one out.
Now a ground ball here. They must hit the zone.
Play in here because anything clean would score both runs.
That's right. This is a very interesting part of the game. I also wonder.
And, so you're looking for a strikeout here, really,
Yeah.
or a walk and double play, pop up.
As you
On the
can see,
ground makes it difficult with these offensive. Let's say offensive.
Johnny
defensive
swings
moves
right
in
through
terms
it.
of strategy.
that was the pitch that Johnny was looking for right there too. You saw him after he swung. He blew out a sigh of hot air.
I agree. That pitch is
Yeah.
right down the middle. You can't afford to
Pulled
miss
off a
those kind of
little bit,
pitches.
But, coming back to the defensive situation here, ground ball to any of the fielders, they need to hit the zone to hold that runner from scoring. So an
So-
infield single could score a run here, which is different from what Fast Plastic used to be, different from some other formats, but important to I think this tournament and seeing how strategy and offense itself how you can break into a game.
So yeah, as a hitter right now, this is tough because you don't want to alter your stats. He hit the outside corner. There's nothing you can do with that. But as a hitter in that situation, it's tough because you don't want to alter your swing, especially when you've had a little bit of success. But to just try and put a ball in play at that point, to definitely put the pressure on them to hit the zone.
I agree.
It's so tough in fast pitch to say I'm going to change my swing and hit to contact because you hit them with a toy bat. It's very difficult to just be like to put the ego aside and not take full swings. So the guys that do it, it's really impressive when they do.
So we're sitting here. We've got 2 outs. The runners are second and third. Joe Evanish will have a chance to help himself out here. A clean single will score 2 and really give the suspects a nice 5-run cushion here. DNAP trying to keep it a 3-run lead at best. Here's the pitch.
Comes back with a drop.
I mean, that's
that was,
right there.
It's a good location.
I agree.
That's
Hit
a
it.
pitch you could meet before it gets there.
Yeah.
But Joe, very patient. He's got a level swing. He's more of like that. He's probably looking for that riser.
Big moment in the game here. DNAP looks in, got a sign, pitch.
Ooh,
Upstairs with the
goes
riser.
way upstairs with it. So uncharacteristic here. Black Dog is usually a louder team, and Matty likes to get loud. So, not sure if that was some type of strategic play. Didn't want to kind of get the suspects riled up at all, but he hit the outside. From here, it looked like it hit the outside.
And it looked like it hit the
Corner.
back
It
left
could have
pipe.
hit the back or even the outside. I mean, definitely didn't hit there. I can assure you it didn't.
No,
hit
but
there.
I think that's where it hit, though. I think it hit that back pipe, though.
So once again, Evanish, the center of a controversial call there. I believe it's the pitcher's call, and DNAP is usually a relatively laid-back guy, so I think he's going to give them a second chance.
I could see a blow up happening.
This is a situation where
Evanish likes to stir up controversy. He likes to play big dick.
And sometimes he plays the dumb, like, oh, is that the real thing?
not
Well,
even that.
he
He's
was-
just, he says it with confidence and said, no, I'm going to do that. I'm going to be a bully right now.
Well, he was the center of the controversy, I believe, the year where Golden Stick, right before they transitioned from the fence rule, I believe he was the one that
At
hit
Beehive
the one
Stadium.
at Beehive Stadium. He was the one who, and he strikes him out anyway. And DNAP,
Ball don't lie.
ball don't lie, as
Right.
they say.
All right, folks,
Being
here we
that-
go. Last licks for Black Dog Country Club. Bottom of the 5th we go. 5-2 lead for the usual suspects. Can they close out another national championship for Dan Lanigan, or will Matty Griff spoil the surprise tonight on Fox?
All right, so we're back here. Bottom of the last inning. Joe Vanish pitching very well for the usual suspects. So they're 3 outs away from the national championship.
That's right. This is actually going to be a very intense inning because you know BDCC's not going to go down without a fight. Matty Griff, I'm not going to lie to you. I've never seen Matty Griff take this many pitches before, and I'm not trying to say he's like an aggressive hitter, but he certainly doesn't like to leave the bat on his shoulder a lot, and I feel like he's been doing that a lot this game.
Yeah, and I think it's been more of a strategic standpoint because the ball is wet and Joe's kind of had a few issues throwing, but we'll see what happens here because he has struggled a little bit with location. They've helped him a little bit, but we all remember what happened the last time the usual suspects got into a championship game and they were 3 outs away, which was the year Doom was able to upset them. That was the year that Doom, where a Brian DiNapoli home run was the one that was actually the game winner, the walk-off. So this Black Dog team has players who are big game players. So
That's ball 3, though. I believe it's counters now 3-2 to Matty Griff as David Road Toast Woods from the Phenoms will join us in the booth for this possible final inning. 3-2, nobody out. Vanish rocks and fires.
hits the outside
Absolutely
corner.
disgusting pitch. Strike 3, Matty Griff.
Part of you wonders if Matty's going to say that hit the low outside leg like Vanish did. Jay Ventresca up, and Jay Ventresca hit a monster home run earlier to put Black Dog on the scorecard. But since then, relatively quiet. I believe he grounded into the double play. He hit it to Johnny Costa last inning or the inning before.
Pitch low and away to Jay now. 1 away here. BDCC 2 outs away from coming up short. Another ball drying session here from Ryan Wood. I was spitting on it. I was getting real spit shine. Love that. It's getting very chilly out here. The sun's starting to really go down. It's brick. Pitch. Change up inside.
Jay going after the inside stuff again. That's 2 at-bats in a row that he's swung at an inside pitch that's missed.
I'm going to make an interjection here as well. He
Yes.
chased nothing in our game. It looks like he has really been aggressive in this one, going out of the zone to really try and put his team on the scoreboard.
I would agree. Listen, you can't only
And Jay hits another bomb
The guy has a
to
lot
right
of
field. Gets his pitch, hits a bomb, makes it 5-3. 5-3 with 1 out.
It's all calculated.
Not done yet. And I don't know. It looks like Evan is still going to pitch.
And we have
Wow, that's
Babs over there trying to throw it over top of the netting that we have here, which is usually the netting behind home plate for the Revolution to protect fans. But what that did is it protected the ball from getting back into play quicker.
I like that.
So we have a 5-3 game with 1 out in the bottom of the last. Brian DiNapoli, again, has been relatively quiet all day at the plate, but he's a player that has the ability to pop off at any given moment.
Wow. Well, Stein, I just want to clarify some here. We did not intentionally ignore you. We were instructed by the higher-ups not to allow you onto the live stream today. That was not Packer and I's decision. And then everything Packer said about you and education, I had nothing to do with. So you can take your beef up with Packer privately and stop
We
dragging
can
my
talk
name
about it
through
on the
mud.
podcast.
Yeah. Stein, just grow up.
If you wanted to be
at the
here,
end of the
you
day,
would've
your
got
team
here.
needed you, and you didn't show up, so it's tough to watch. Anyway, back to the action here. Evanish going to pitch. Wow.
There it is, and that seems to
And
be.
I mean, and by the way, now I'm angry. Typical style. Let's get right to the Twitter and let everyone know that I'm important and crying about it. Well, come on, better than that, Stein.
So DNAP up again here. So they just threw him that outside screwball. So you can only think as a hitter here, is he going to come back with that because he's been able to control it, or is he going to try and pound that low slider?
Boom. Changed it up.
That one definitely didn't have any movement to it, though.
Took a little off, yeah.
DNAP
Put a
missed that.
finger- put a finger in it.
So there's 2 strikes now. Johnny Costa's drying off the ball. DNAP's up there, and you can see he's trying to dial it in.
could be DNAP's last at bat of the game. He definitely doesn't want to go down without a fight here. Here's the pitch.
Outside.
Tell you, that's a really nasty pitch from Evan. Actually, it kind of comes in looking straight, and then really slides away, but also looks like it picks up speed. It's a very interesting pitch. It is getting chilly here in the broadcast booth. Brought to you by Lowe's. Let's build something together. Pitch. Outside.
And he leaves it off, brings the tying run up to the plate with Matty Griff.
Wow. Matty.
So now they're talking about what they want to do. Evanish, it looks like he might be reconsidering what he wants to do.
Yeah,
He may have said,
think-
hey, I'm not as comfortable anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I think Matty is furious over his at bats this game. He's looked at a lot of pitches. He's hit a lot of corners.
And again, Matty is hungry for this championship.
Yeah.
Matty has been sniffing it for the last 3 years. He's come very close each year, and this year they are right there. So I think Matty is chomping at the bit for this AB, and we have a mound visit out there. You have Dan Lanigan, who is apparently the manager of the year at this point.
Manager of the year.
They're gonna leave Evanish in. They're gonna
Wow.
leave him in and say, hey, it's been your game. Go out there and try to shut him out for 2 more outs.
And again, he really hasn't been hit too much. Just a couple of walks, a couple of hits here and there. Yeah, some solo shots, but nothing crazy. Here we go.
Matty takes it low. 1-0. Some could say Lanigan has best bones in game as well.
Wow. Maybe highly debatable. Very debatable.
That's a stretch.
So Matty's up there. Matty's looking like he is about to take a cut.
Ooh, there it was.
Again,
Strike one,
strike
1-1.
one, but again, did not hit the zone.
Just missed though.
Just missed, but would have been a ball if he didn't go after it. And Black Dog seems to Matty wants this to be. He wants to be the guy right now.
We have 1 out, correct?
1 out. Oh, he pops it up foul. Johnny Costa makes an athletic catch.
No tag call. I actually question that tag call, not getting the runner in the scoring position. But I guess that run doesn't mean anything. You are down 2.
Yes. You want to
Matty
give the
knows he-
tying run still up, yeah.
Matty
Same
knows
time.
he missed one.
So
At
now,
the same time, Johnny's been warming up too.
now the big bat for Black Dog. 2 home runs this game. Here comes Jay Ventresca with the game tying run up. He is walking up with a purpose.
This could be a great moment right here. This could be a great moment right here for Jay. He's been itching for another chance in the national championship. Nothing better than against his old former teammates. We've got 2 outs. Guy on first. Ventresca, the tying run. Here's the first pitch. A disgusting two-seamer
Vanish
through ball
just
in the outside
reached
corner.
back and fired that harder than any pitch we've seen him throw in the last 3 innings.
I agree.
He reared back and fired that in. It's an 0-1 count. Jay Ventresca up, runner on first. Though Vanish was able to throw that screwball from pitch 1 for a strike, you may be thinking he may be overthrowing now. He might be trying to rear back and give everything he had, so he could get a little bit wild.
I do agree.
And he throws that low inside slider. The usual suspects are 1 pitch away from the 2020 United Wiffle National Championship. Only thing standing between them right now is Jay Ventresca, who's been the big bat for Black Dog.
That's right, we got 1-2 count.
And he hits Jay in the head. That's a walk. That's a walk. He walks him.
Wow.
Is that a bad thing? 'Cause
He,
he was almost one as bad at the plate. But
Wow.
Well-
And just like that, I want to turn our events. It is now first and second. 2 outs for DNAP. The gallery getting a little energized here down the first base side. They sense that we've got a comeback brewing here. A double will clear the base in the game. A home run will walk it
and
off.
like we just said there, we said a Vanish. If he tries to overthrow it, he might get a little wild. And sure enough, he threw that slider and he tried to throw it hard. And it
Yet
came up and hit him.
Yet another mound visit from the suspects. A lot of mound visits in this game. I guess maybe next year in the rules we can incorporate mound visits as enough. Here we go. First pitch.
Brandon Napoli up there.
Oh.
Dean App tips one directly back into the zone.
Wow. Dean App
Both teams
over
getting
that pitch.
fired up now.
What's left of a capacity crowd for the weekend is on their feet. They are cheering. They want to see some late game heroics from Fun Guy. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Ooh,
High, and
upstairs.
this is it high. 1-1 count, 2 down in the national championship
This is
game.
unbelievable pressure right here. You
And
love to see
like
it.
we said a little bit earlier in the broadcast again, the last time Usual Suspects were 1 pitch away from a national championship, the spoiler was Brian DiNapoli, who is up in the same situation now. Down by 2 runs, 2 runners on. Ooh, and
There's that
that's a
changeup again.
tough pitch to lay off. An inside change screw. It's a 2-1 count now. Brian DiNapoli's up there. He's looking much more comfortable up there as well than his previous at-bats.
Man, he walked like 5 miles over there.
Throws an inside. That looked like to be a change.
That's right. Evan is starting to lose it a little bit.
3-1 count.
This is not where you want to be. You do not want to be against
Brian DiNapoli sitting on his 1 pitch right here. I can only assume it's going to be that screwball that he's going to sit on. Oh, and he comes back with the hard slider.
With the riser. Wow.
And DiNap not happy. Full count. Championship game runners on first and second. Black Dog down to their final strike.
This is great drama right here, folks. This is great drama. 3-2, 2 out. National championship on the line, like Packer said. Best hitter, one of the best hitters in the game, one of the best pitchers in the game. This is good stuff. Lanigan cheering him on from another field. He can't even bear to watch. Evanish toes the rubber. Rocks. Fires. Ball 4.
Walks and brings up Matty Griffin. Bases loaded, 2 outs now. Matty Griffin up, and Matty Griffin has been seeing him pretty well. He's swung over that screwball that's been a little low and outside, but you can only assume Matty, as being a fantastic hitter, is going to make that adjustment. Ooh, and just swings over top of it. A single here would tie the game.
That's right. Double would win it. A single would tie it. A dirty single will just keep it a 1-run game. Lanigan showing that emotion.
0-1 count to Matty Griff. Vanish Rocks fires. Throws that riser high again on Matty Griff.
And I wonder what's going through Ryan Wood's head right now, not knowing that he's not on the mound trying to close out a national championship for his team. I wonder what's going through Lanigan's head right now, knowing that Ryan Wood's not on the mound closing out the national championship game.
And you can't see it here, but the scoreboard out there is reading 48 miles an hour, or 48 degrees. 48 degrees out here right now. It's a 2-1 count. Lanigan cheering on his pitcher out there. Rocks fires. Matty Griff takes a big hack on that slider.
But very rarely does Matty Griff miss a pitch like that,
Yes.
but 2 strikes now, bases loaded. 2-2?
2-2 count.
2-2,
And
bases loaded.
once again, the Usual Suspects down to their final strike. Or Black Dog down to their final strike. Suspects 1 strike away from claiming the top of the sport for this year.
I tell you, this game, all kinds of excitement all of a sudden in the last inning here. Let's see what Matty Griff can do.
Throws a changeup low. Full count. And I'm sure you can hear the crowd over on the first base side.
Right.
They are getting into this. The
Here
fact
we
that
go.
he threw that pitch there, he's going to come back with that slider
pitch.
hard.
Bases loaded. Here we go.
Matty Griff
He gets
swings
the
underneath
chasing,
of
and
it.
that's going to do it.
Danny Lanigan sprinting onto the field with his team. Crowd cheering.
The Usual Suspects are your 2020 national champions for United Wiffle Ball. Congratulations, guys.
And that's
Great
going to wrap it up
tournament
for us here in the
Black Dog
broadcast
Country
booth.
Club. Great job for Black
Usual
Dog.
Suspects win the national championship 5-3. Black Dog almost with late game heroics. Joe Vanish pitched phenomenal that game. He was able to get them out of situations when he needed to, and he was almost effectively wild in the last few innings. That Usual Suspects team battled all weekend, coming into today as the 10 seed, and they were able to beat some very, very good teams early, and then to come and beat that Black Dog Country Club team there. That was a fantastic championship game.
Oh, I have no idea. Are we turning this on?
Do we have a